Well, I'm back at Sweet Hope. I was rather hoping that there'd be a bit of a flood in the rivers, but there hasn't been. So I've picked what I think is about the best day of the week weather-wise, and it's still going to be pretty windy and pretty cold. But I'm interested in trying a couple of patterns of the very simplified ridge pattern, which I'm hoping will do the trick. I've been looking at all the reference books with ridges and so on, and I think some of the patterns are a little bit too big and too overcomplicated. So I'm going to see whether this simplified fly does the job. So I'm heading right up to the top of the fishery.
I'll just give you a close-up view of this fly now. As you'll see, it is very simple but effective. Size 16 hook, black tying silk for the body. Apply halfway down the body a grizzle hackle, a genetic saddle hackle, 3 turns maximum. Trim the base of the fly level and then varnish the body completely, and that's all there is to it. By varnishing the body at both halves, it'll soak into the area where the hackle's tied and make the fly more durable. The whole point of this fly is it wants to imitate midges and gnats, where they're quite delicate looking things. They're very spindly. Even though there isn't much dressing on that fly, it's still an awful lot thicker and more substantial than the real thing. I was just rowing myself out of the weed bed to get in the position to start. Yes, a complete idiot there, trimming away the tag on the nymph, and ended up cutting the fly off the leader. Now I've mounted my action cam around about waist on one of those chest strap things, because I realise that when I twitch my head around looking at what's going on, of course I fly back and forth on the scene and send everybody seasick. But on reflection, I'm going to go back to the head mounted camera, because at this angle on the water it's really difficult for you to see the little noses and boils and things that I'm looking at while I'm fishing. So you'll see later when I get a fish, I was surrounded by rising fish, and yet hardly any of the rises were visible at all. Nice wind level when I got there. Of course, as usual, it blows up and gets a bit more unpleasant.
It'd be interesting to see which where it's gone for. I think it's gone.
Very fit fish here at Sweet Hope. I've said it many times, but they do put up a really good show.
That's it. That's it. There he is. Well, this wind is quite strange because you think you've got the wind behind you, a casting, and it's sort of blowing sort of in your face and across. Right, that's pretty close to that fish. I got broken before. I was just in the process of lifting off just as a fish was diving down with my fly at speed. So it resulted in a ping and lost flies. That's the fish swimming. Oh, damn it. Pretty sure I lifted off just when that one took. Yeah, that's it. That fish chased the fly. It had a couple of swirls underneath it, so I just drew it quietly away from it. Oh, that's off. Oh, there's a couple of fish here.
Well, once again, thanks very much for watching. If you've reached this point, you can see how the day went from being a rather dull, gloomy looking day to being quite bright, but the wind level increased quite a lot. I had quite a bit of sport on that simplified midge pattern. I was very pleased with it, so I'll be fishing that a lot more. If you look on the shoreline there, you'll see a vehicle with a bit of blue stuff dangling out of it. That's a bit of additional stock in. They've put in several hundred extra fish in that day, even though I thought the stock level was really high. So unlike so many fisheries, Sweet Hope doesn't just put in a splatter at the beginning and ignore the rest of the year. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye. Thanks.